Can I go?
Yes.
So the video that I chose to my discussion lead is leather and meat without killing animals. It was presented by Andres Forgat. He's an owner in this company, Modern Meadow. And it's a company that developed novel biomaterial, including culture meat and leather. And according to him, this technique will require no animal slaughter and much lower inputs of land, water, and energy and chemicals. So why did I choose this video? I choose this video because I'm concerned about the environmental problems that the meat industry generate in the world, and also because as a veterinarian, I care about the animal welfare, so I have to do everything that I can to improve their quality of life and understand their behavior and try to recognize their needs and relieve their pain. So that's why I choose veterinarian. And I think what we do today with the animals, what the meat industry does today with the animals, it's unfair and it's cruel. And also because I'm a vegetarian for 12 years old, and I stopped to eat meat because of all of this of my concerns about the environment and animals. And every time I saw like a piece of meat, I feel guilty, and I start to think about all the production, of all the animal suffering, and all the environment problems. So I decided to stop. And this video gave me hope that one day we can, our world can be a better place without animal suffering, and the world could be a better place for us, for our children, for our loved ones. So that's why I chose this video. So the summary of the video, Andrea is owner of 3D prints of human tissues and organs, and he started to think about meat and leather biofabrication. He thought that this idea was crazy at the beginning, but then he realized that crazy is what we do today. So with the massive animal slaughtering, environmental degradation, so he suggests that biofabrication is an alternative to decrease the animal suffering and the world pollution. So why the livestock is harmful for the environment? First, we have to grow the food for the animals, the feed. For that, we have to devastate a big land of forest. So, and as well to raise those animals, we have to devastate another big land of forest. So just to you to know, today 80% of Amazon deforestation derives from cattle ranching. Cattle is cows raising. So another reason is the water wasting. So the livestock consume a lot of water to raise the grain, to feed the animals, water to raise the animals because they have to drink, water to clean the farm, to clean the industry, to clean during the slaughtering. So just for curiosity, for make 1 pound of beef requires 1,800 gallons of water. Just 1 pound of beef.
Wow.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah.
So, and also because of the greenhouse gas emission, that those gases leads to global warming. So I have a video here. It's a video from National Geographic. They have a TV program, and in this episode, they show the Amazon. How is the Amazon today? How is our forest that is so important for us today? So, here.
It was super gross forest. It was not like that. But you can see now,
This whole thing that we are seeing that is dry land right now.
it was not here. Then in 50 years, this destruction.
You can see a forest and next to a clear cut for a mile long. They've done a lot of destruction in such a short amount of time, so it's kind of hard to see, you know?
She talked to one of her heroes, Paulo Dario of Greenpeace, and he's somebody who's really devoted his life to stop illegal deforestation.
When I was contacted by producers of the show, I was thinking that this would be a great opportunity to tell millions of people the message that the Amazon is under threat. The Amazon is fundamental for the entire Earth population, and we all together need to stop destruction.
I mean, people need to know this. I mean, it acts all of us, you know?
Paulo Dario leads a small band of climate protectors. He has more information and more resources sometimes than the actual government police. He's truly a hero of the rainforest.
If we don't combine alternative energies with stopping deforestation, the global warming will be so big that by 2050 we will have no chance of stepping back anymore.
Paulo took Giselle up to a dam called Telespides. You can see the deforestation around it, the roads, the development, the dead trees.
They cut the flow of the river, so the water raised in that area, became a lake, and then all these trees died. Thousands, millions, I don't even know, like so much.
This is the last chance. We may be past the point of no return, or we may be right on that bubble. We have to act now.
It's very inspiring for me to see those people who are so devoted. They're devoting their lives to protecting something and taking care of something that is vital for not just their lives, not just their children, but life on Earth. It makes me feel like, you know, how can I do more?
We can't let them do that.
No, we can't.
We can't.
So, according to FAO, the livestock generate 14.5% of our anthropogenic emissions. This is a data from 2007. But when I was searching about, I saw that the percentage today is 50%. So I didn't put here because I just, for the presentation, I just used the data from FAO because I know that's a reliable source, but if probably it's bigger than that. So the livestock generates three kinds of gases: methane, nitrous oxide, and carbon dioxide. So the beef cattle and the dairy cattle, they generate the most part of the gas emissions. So the methane is produced inside the belly of the cows. Every time they eat, the bacteria in their stomach start to digest that food, and it generates gases. So as they eat a lot of grain, it's increased the amount of gas. And the nitrous oxide is generated by the manure. Manure is how they call poo. And every time you store it and you manage the manure, it generates nitrous oxide. And the carbon dioxide is generated by all the electric consumption. Like for raise the cow, you have to transport the food, transport the cow, and you have to have heating and ventilation, so it generates carbon dioxide. So this graphic shows the global emission. So this part here is just for organic gas, just for methane. This is for grow the feed. This is the manage of the manure. This and this. So it's a lot of things here. And in this graph, this is the enteric fermentation. This is the manure management. So if we start to do the lab growth techniques, all this is going to disappear. We don't have no enteric gases, no manure, no feed. It's a decrease of 86% of gases emission. So another problem is the animals suffering. They suffer from confinement stress because in the meat industry, the animals are raised in small spaces so this is an example of a pig farm. So in the pig, this is a mother pig. These mother pigs, they live all their life in these cages. Small cages, they don't have how to turn around, they have to live like this. And they become pregnant, and then they go to a bigger cage to nursing the babies. And this cycle occurs for 4 years, and then the pig is destroyed. So this confinement generates some stress behaviors, like tearing the bars, and also cannibalism. They start to bite each other's tail. Just an example. Another example is the pre-slaughtering stress. So we have some techniques to decrease this stress before the slaughter, but it's common if not occur. So to go to the slaughterhouse, those animals have to be handled, have to be to put them on a cage, to put them on a truck, and then go to the slaughterhouse. So this is a correct way to pick up the chicken. You have to pick up them by the body. And look how it looks like. It looks like very calm, comfortable, no stress here. Look what happened, what commonly happened. Look how this plate look like. And it's common to pick them by the wings, by the necks. They don't care about. Just put them there, go to the slaughterhouse and do whatever you can. It's just animals. So they suffer from psychological stress because when they go to the slaughterhouse, there are a change of environment. They have to go to a smaller place and stand there for 24 hours. Sometimes the place like that don't have a cover to protect them from the climatic conditions like rain, like cold. So it's common they suffer from physical stress. So when they go to the slaughterhouse, they have to stay 24 hours without food and water. So it's a stress condition. And they do that because if they eat before they slaughter, it will contaminate the stomach will contaminate the meat. So they don't treat it. And they suffer from fatigue because the journey, it's a long travel to the slaughterhouse, and sometimes pain because it's a lot of animals, big animals all together. They get hurt. It's very common. So if we start to grow meat at the lab, we're gonna change everything. So how meat is made at the lab?
Muscle tissue is a key component of the meat we eat, and it's first harvested in a small and harmless procedure. Next, the tissue is cut into minuscule pieces to separate the muscle fibers and cells. And this is how it looks close up. The muscle tissue consists of fat cells and muscle cells, which are separated to produce cultured beef. By dissecting the muscle cells, individual cells can be removed and cultured. The cells start dividing. Eventually, from one muscle cell, more than 1 trillion cells can be grown. These cells naturally merge to form so-called myotubes, which are no longer than 0.3 millimeters. The myotubes are then placed in a ring around a central hub of gel. Muscles' innate tendency to contract causes them to put on bulk, growing into a small piece of muscle tissue. From one small piece of tissue, this pioneering technique can produce more than 1 trillion strands. All these little pieces of muscle are layered together, we get exactly the same thing we started with: beef.
So what are the pros of this technique? It can be potentially cheaper to produce than regular meat, use less water, cause less pollution, use less land, it's free of antibiotics, it's free of bacteria because it's made at the lab. less harmful for the environment, and it's free of animal suffering. And what are the cons? Some people that tasted this meat reported that the texture and the flavor are different. So the scientists have to improve from this point. And for now, they only can make a small piece of meat to make ground meat, like hamburgers. They cannot make the steak yet. And another problem is people might be reluctant to accept this new kind of meat. So, what do you think about the video, about this new technique, about everything?
What?
This is animal teacher.
That looks like me.
How you change from American to Brazilian. So quick.
I love it. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, I saw a name of the company, but I forgot the name. But I can see they have this business, this kind of supermarket. No. Yeah.
Sorry?
But now I just know that they are producing bread just for test.
Her question was, are they producing this and distributing it in supermarkets right now?
Right now?
But no.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I read a lot of stories.
Not that we know of, right? It's not marked that way. Right?
Yeah. Because cloning industry has been meat, especially meat, has been like cloned for a long time. Yes, clone. Like clone meat. We've been doing that for a long time.
I searched it started in 2013.
This company.
No, the first black meat.
For black meat.
The first black meat.
There's a, well, I don't mean meat. I'm like afraid here, but I think for the market is concerned about the health issues, especially when you think about the chemical products, for example, the meat that they deal with that, especially GMO products they use it. That's a big concern in the society right now. And have that kind of meat, like I said, on the meat, so it's I'll give you that to my family, definitely.
You wouldn't give
No.
lab meat to your
Nobody.
family.
Nobody that I'm a friend with them give my dad. Nobody.
How about leather? You need leather.
I don't use that.
Should be leather.
Yeah. What am I gonna do?
Your shoes in the winter time.
What do you want me to do?
Rain.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to get, yes, I want you to lab leather. Lab leather.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I think
Yeah.
for leather, I think like for leather and like other animal products, I think it would be a good idea. But like for like my personal opinion, I wouldn't try it. Like I would be so afraid. I mean, maybe I could try this. Thank you, but I don't know.
How about vitamins? Are they gonna have the same food vitamins?
What did you say? Like white meats?
Which one?
Vitamins.
Vitamins.
Vitamins, okay. Because it comes from the same origin, right?
Great.
Good question. So, what do you think about biocertification of animal products? Do you think this technology could end animal slaughtering for food and leather, propose, and decrease deforestation? Absolutely. Like always, making a lot of
education about that.
Yeah, I think it's a process. Like maybe in the future, like maybe, I don't know how many years, but right now I think it's almost impossible. I mean, I don't think that far, but
I think that people are very set in their ways.
yeah, it's too hard to change like everything. Like,
You know, you mentioned leather. I think people are more likely to go for, lab-made leather than they are lab-made meat because it sounds funny, right? But I think that this would have to be something that's evolving over time, right? Scientists would need to get the meat to a point where you can't even tell the difference, right? And then I think people could get on board, right? But I think in the long run, yes, but I think that people are selfish and set in their ways and very set in their own, live in their microcosm, right? And they don't look at the bigger picture, right?
So, in your opinion, what are the biggest problems for consumers of acceptance of leather meat? Would you read this recommendation?
I think the big problem is the concern about the health.
About, sorry?
The health. About the
Health.
continuous meat is healthy. Healthy or healthy.
Health, yeah, health. Mm-hmm.
And the use of this tradition of the I think not only the health problems, and maybe this is not really important for the people is the
I think so.
texture, the flavor.
Yeah.
Maybe they think that they are really elastic or
Yeah.
it's very artificial.
Yeah,
Like
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Because if
They are not very concerned of the health things. If the meat is healthy or not is healthy.
Yes,
They're concerned more of
exactly.
the flavor, the
Yeah.
texture,
because if health was the first concern, people don't eat meat.
of course.
Yeah. So I think health is no a big question, but I agree that the flavor, the change the culture. Imagine in Brazil that barbecue it's so traditional. People like to eat meat dropped.
On skewers.
Dropped. Sorry.
Skewers?
Skewers. No, bloody.
Oh.
Meat with a lot of bloody. Yes, they like it. So I think the cultural resistance is more important than when I talk with my friend about eat meat, they made joke because they like bloody, they like meat so fresh. Like if I can kill the cow in my house is better because it's so fresh to eat. They normally sometimes they care. They care with a pig during entire the year to kill in the Christmas because they really like to. It's so crazy. It's so terrible. It's so devil because we consider some animal that we can care, like a dog, like a cat in Western culture, but some animal we consider that they have to be killed to. It's so I don't know the correct word, but hypocrite.
No, it's no for human development. It's no more necessary to eat meat. It's proved by science that meat no is the same thing like vitamins. Vitamins it's one thing, and protein is another thing, totally different. So we have protein, a lot of food. We have already artificial protein, and the vitamin is another thing. So because I don't know if you know baby beef. Baby beef is terrible meat because normally the animal no receive enough food. They no receive some vitamin, and the baby beef is so unhealthy meat, and people continue consuming it. So it's very how do you say perverse in English?
Perverse.
Perverse. It's so perverse. It's so cruel. It's more than I think it's more than concern about health.
Yeah,
It's cruel. Yeah.
if you want to eat healthy, you never going to eat raw meat. You can get a lot of disease.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
The natural meat is not easy. We have to change, it's going to be very challenging. To change their mind, I think that people, the government, the economic leaders, they are not going to permit that happens globally. And also, it's in the mind of the people. I think that again, as my discussion with the people, have to go back to the basics and grow their own animals if they want to and maybe can stop the percent of suffering and pollution and problems.
Yeah, it's a very interesting because politicians talk about change law about environment, blah 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 blah, but they receive a lot of money from agribusiness, and they approve some law to maintain agribusiness. It's so nonsense because they appear in the television and the newspaper talking about the necessity to change behavior to preserve the nature, the environment, blah 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 blah. But they receive all the time money to maintain agribusiness. It's so crazy. Yeah.
Just to pick a little bit what Maria was saying, and what you just finished saying too. The big problem is the market. That's the problem. Capitalismo is the problem.
No, Alivio, but...
Yeah, wait. It is. Let me finish. Now, let me finish my talk.
Okay.
Because one thing, like you say, deforestation, all those things, and for centuries, people been eating meat. I don't eat meat. I'm just being the devil advocate right now, for example. And the problem is not the consuming, like you talking in your discussion. The problem is not that people eating too much meat. That's not the problem. The problem is the market. You consume too much. That's the problem. And because you consume too much, because the market have to sell, like you say, what do you call it? Commercial for hamburger is $1 million. Commercial is it looks so the best food in the world. Well, when you eat it, is what? Crap.
It's just $1 for the hamburger, you know.
It's $1. But how much they spend in the commercial? And they pay people millions of dollars, celebrities, what they call it. Celebrities to go to pretend that they're eating those food and promote it as a healthy food. But that's the problem. The market is the problem. And deforestation, all these other problems coming with the market. When we think about the market, we're thinking about what? Capitalism. So we have to be honest sometimes. Yeah.
But I have a question because capitalism produce.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It is. Yeah,
Capitalism produce a lot of products. If meat or agribusiness was banned by because they don't is enough productive, the capitalist will create another product, and the capitalism can create a product that saves. Because if you consider clean energy is capitalism too. The question is, what type of capitalism? Because we have a lot of type of capitalism. Remember the industrial revolution in 19th or 18th century, and consider now Silicon Valley. It's the same. Is both of them is capitalism too. But the question is the capitalism needs create, because the problem, capitalism is a problem, but capitalism has solution to live together some product more efficient, more, I don't know the word. Sorry.
Efficiently.
Efficiently. So because if we consider the big problem, I know I don't suggest the reform capitalism. I don't suggest a way to make capitalism better, because I don't believe that capitalism could be better. Because the essential of capitalism is the
making money.
The biggest man. It's
It's a control mechanism.
Yes.
Right? But capitalism could be used to push
Exactly.
lab, right?
Yes,
So I think that's
exactly.
your point, right?
Yeah,
That
exactly. Yeah.
we could direct it, right? Those that are in charge, the powers that be, could direct
Yeah,
the
exactly.
mechanism for control in the favor of the environment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, but at the same time, when you have like people who think the environment, for example, climate change is not a threat because money, you have a problem. You have a conflict of interest right there. That's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. I'm trying to make you guys understand. The conflict of interest between what I'm going to make it and what is good for us. And what I'm going to make is more important than what is good for us. That's what the point is.
Yeah, I believe, yes. Okay.
So that's the problem.
Do you have any other questions for? Anyone have any questions for Mariana?
Good job.
Yeah, Mariana, really well done. Super informative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down a lot of different things like, wow, like I didn't know a lot of the things in there. Yeah,
Very good
that's
job, definitely.
really well done. Great. Beautiful.
Where?
It was on a practice class.
Oh, real? Yeah.
It's not the internship that you're doing? No, it's just class. We have to go to the farm and do the exam and the calls and
Mariana, you look like you're afraid. In the picture, you look like you're afraid.